Okay, we're going to look at adding this slab here. So let's go with that. What we need to do is head over to the floor plan, and so that's where we're going to look at it. So basically, we need to go to the floor plan, which is this one here. Okay, so adding the slab, we go to the structure, or we can go through here. But we have to get the structural slab. But best if we go to structure, get the floor there. What's it going to be? Okay, it goes grey. You can see there. All right, so this is a generic one there. So we might change that to be called something else. We're going to call it concrete 100mm slab. The name doesn't really matter. It's what you put in it that matters. So let's. Okay, where are we? Here's the edit the type, so we can duplicate it. Okay, so we hit duplicate, as I say in American. So let's go there, and oops, that didn't work. Okay, so we're going to call it concrete 100mm. Concrete 100mm. All right. So what else is there? Slab. Okay, slab. So we'll do this. It's the same as the book or as the notes up on the A360. So that's that. What actually matters is when we go to edit and we change these to be 100mm. Okay. So the other thing is, if we go here, says by category, if we click the little three dots on the side there, we're able to eventually come to an area where we can say what material this is, and we're going to go with concrete, so you can just type it in because there's so much stuff in here. So just start typing it in and this comes up. So let's go with that one there. Alright, and we just go OK. Okay, in here there's a lot of other stuff to do with rendering on the other side, so that's where you go to look at other physical stuff over here. So let's go OK for what we want now, and that puts that in there. Okay, so that's where it goes, and basically that's it. If we wanted to perhaps be able to modify the slab to have a bit of a sort of a different thickness to one end, just sort of visually, you could do it as well. You could change that so it's variable, but we won't do that. So let's go to OK there. So basically we've done that. OK. Now this is a little thing that works right through Revit, where what we need to do here is actually pick walls according to our little exercise here. Where is it? Okay, so you've got to go to extend to core. So basically, and then pick walls, which is this one here. So when we have that, we're able to hang around here. See how it's putting a dashed line there? That's where the core is. So we told it to go to extend to core. Right? You could have an offset to either side as well, but we won't do it in this instance. We just want it there. So notice you're also getting this sort of thing. I'm getting it to the inside. So I just want the, so I'm getting it to the inside of the building, but I want the one that's to the cavity, that one there. So I hang around there, and if I press tab, it puts that dashed line all around. And at that point, I can then click with the left mouse button, which will highlight the whole slab at once. Otherwise, I have to pick each wall at a time. So this highlights the sketch, and if that's all we want to do, we don't want to change any other properties in here, we can then press finish. And because it's a slab, it knows to put it below ground level. Because right now we're sitting on the ground floor, so anything we do will be below that now. So that's your, if you might say, that's your user coordinate system, the ground floor. So okay. That's the plane you're drawing on, basically. So there it is. Yeah. Hopefully that's right. Okay, so let's, how do we know if it's right? Well, you've got to keep checking all the time. So let's go to the 3D over here and just have a bit of a look around and see what we have a look. So yeah, there's a slab there. It looks okay to me. It's blue because it's still highlighted, so I could change it if I wanted to now to something else, some other property. Okay, so that's basically the slab. All right, so we'll move over to adding a footing now. All right, so to add a footing, we got to just press modify to finish that. Now to add a footing, again, we will probably do this on the ground plan here. All right, and I might just change this to fine to be able to see both leaves of the wall. All right, so footing. So where do we go with that? So we go to structure. There we go. And we want to go to put a footing. It was actually not a footing. Normally people will go here because that's what that looks like, one of those. But in industry, really, this is what we use. Actually putting a beam. It's not really a beam. It's a concrete beam. All right. So we'll click that. What we want to have actually is what we can have a look at here. All we've got is one universal beam, which is not what we want. So we want something concrete. So we've got load family, and we can go to make sure we go to the structure. At the moment you're in architecture, it just senses that because we're using the architectural template. So we'll go to structure, go to Australia, and then go to structure. All right. Then we'll go to international metric. And we should be able to then go to structural, then framing, structural, framing, concrete, and there's one to choose from. Well, we'll have that one, thanks. All right, so we'll get this one here, and it's probably not the right size. It's 400 by 800, which is not what we want. What we actually want overall from the top of the floor is a 350 wide by 500 deep. But what we're going to do, because we've got a 30mm rebate in our wall system, and the external brick wall, we want to drop it by 30mm up the top. So what we need to do is create one that's called, that's only 470 deep. And because eventually the engineer will put some internal ones in here, and they will start at the right level, and then we should end up in the right spot in the end. Alright, so we'll make the other ones, we'll make them 500. Alright. Okay, so let's go with editing, duplicating, and we're going to go for 350. Not a bad idea to actually denote which is the width, and 470, perhaps deep, and something like that. However you want to do it. Okay, that's the name of it. Alright, so these are the numbers we need to change. Okay, sometimes there's an edit button here which you can go in and do more changing, but in this case there's only just two numbers here. So that's the 350, one height. Yep. And this is the 470. So that's it. So we've got our little beam. Now we've got to put it in. All right. So, okay, so how are we going to do that? That's a good question. Well, there's a few, at the moment we've got the beam there, but there's a few little settings we want to set up. So we want to have this set to side 1. That's a lateral justification. So we're going to do it from the side. And then we have some pick lines, and then we'll just go for it. So let's go with this one here, pick lines. Right, so here a lot of people got into trouble because depending where you pick, it will draw it to the one side. And what works here is if we pick the outside rather than the middle or anything like that. So to pick that and we go tab, that doesn't work, does it? So what we need to do is pick each one. So that didn't work. Click that. Now you're going to get this warning here, which basically says I can't see what you've drawn because it's a lot below the ground. So It didn't do it with the slab, but it's doing it with this. So we'll just close that and keep going like that. We could have done another view, which actually has we could have modified that view range so we can actually see that, but we haven't done that. So we just have to bear with this. Unfortunately, well, there's only 4 wards. If there was more, we'll be in trouble to here all day. But for our little exercise, it's good enough for now. So that's what the warning was. Some warnings you can just close, you read it, close it, and it doesn't cause any issues. Others you need to, they're critical. So this one was not critical. I assume that worked. How do I know? Well, I don't know. So I have to check here. So I go here and I can see that that's under there. Alright, so that's good. We're just putting the ring beam around for now, and we're going to see what we'll do the rest when we do the structural. Alright, okay, so that's the beam there. So the thing is, it's supposed to be 30 millimeters below, and I think we haven't actually done that yet. Let's fix that up, because if we have a look at the section through here, where's the section? Well, you can check. The section is going right through the middle of this here. So, and you can move this section. You can actually, that's the other thing, you can click on there. You can make the section range a bit smaller. Really, we don't need it that big. You can start tidying this up and making it more tight, because when you bring this plan onto your sheet, which you're going to find out later, it will actually think that the whole area that you've got designated there, which you had beforehand, is what's needed, and it's going to really take the whole sheet, and it will just be blank stuff on there, which is not really good. So you want to start tidying this up and bringing this, making it smaller, and doing this sort of stuff and playing with it so you can get it right. So, and these things here can also be moved in closer. So that's what we need to be doing as we're going along. And also these things here can be moved. I can move that further up, or I can add another section if I want to as well. Okay, so I just moved it over past this door because I don't want to see the door frame, because the door frame sticks out, and so I think, and you can also go right click and go to view, and that'll take you basically there. So again, we can muck around with this fine tuning here, and we can see here what's going on. If you can't see very well, you can go TL for thin lines, or you can click this button up the top, and that will show you that in fact we haven't got that 30 mil drop. So I can't really pick it from here because all I can pick is this end, that end, and maybe that end, but the other end of the section I can't pick. So it's best to pick that beam from the ground floor plan. So back to here, double click, and I'd be hard pressed to actually get it from underneath the wall. So what I need to do is just pick up everything and use my filter button here to separate what I need. Okay, as you can see from page 9 in your little book here, we've got structural framing is what we need, and structural framing one can't see. I can see a rectangular straight wall opening, I can see, so it's not picking that up, so that's not right. I think we need to then, if you're not getting it, we have to go to the 3D. What's that? Yeah, well, what I wanted, it wasn't picking this up. So what I need to do is actually get it from here, and I reckon this will pick it up. I go here now, I'm getting more stuff. Structural framing, this is it. This is what it is actually. It doesn't tell you it's a concrete footing or anything like that. So we grab that, so we'll do is just check all, none, and check this, and go OK. And then we can drop this down. And again, it's in there. What we need to do is go to Z direction, change that to other, and put in minus 30 here, and go enter, and we apply. Hopefully that would have made a little thing in there. Have a look at the section quickly, and there it is. There's a little set down there. I'll leave it there, and we'll continue in a minute.